Okay, so on this one, I'll talk about miking up your speaker. So recording your guitar amp. And I have a isolation box because I don't want to disturb my neighbors. And we can see here I have a Celestion V30 speaker. I can exchange these. They're mounted on plywood. So I can, if I have, like I do, many speakers, I can change them. There's a video about the building of this. Yeah, a necessary thing if I actually want to crank my amp up in an apartment building. And we are gonna hear this one mic, B906 from Behringer. And here we have Audio Technica 2020. And this one's centered. It's really centered onto the speaker. And we'll hear, and that's the brightest sound you're gonna get from the speaker when it's actually pointed at the center. And we're gonna hear that now. I'll be doing this in real time so we can hear how the placement affects the sound. And then we're gonna talk about phase and how to avoid phase issues, and if you have them, how to deal with them. So we're gonna do a multi-mic setup. But let's hear an example how it sounds like when it's centered. All right, here we go. And as an amplifier, I have my Joyo Jackman 2. So, and we're gonna hear the overdrive channel. And on Studio One, I have a mono track setup, and I'm gonna be using input number 3, well, actually input number 1 here. And I'll make sure that I'm not clipping my interface, so that's essential, and don't be clipping inside Studio One as well. But here's how it should sound like. All right, and that was the mic in the center. So let's hear it. Let's move it towards the edge of the cone, and let's hear that. There we go, that's done. So let's go. Okay, so the sound is totally different, of course, but let's do halfway. Around there. All right, so let's put that on the middle. There we go. And as we can see, the AT 2020 was like, well, much further away and not centered. So we can actually take a listen to that one and see how that sounds like. So that's the sound when it's there. Let's move it closer. There we go, now it's almost centered. Let's hear it. And the AT2020 is a condenser. The other one is a dynamic one. So let's hear the difference. Between the two. And of course the AT2020 is not fully centered, so it's not as bright as the B906. But then let's hear them both together. And this. Okay, and that sounds a bit weird. So what we have, they are out of phase. And what can we do? Well, we have in Studio One, you can actually click the input controls. So then we get these here. And here's is a phase switch or polarity. We can click that on one of them and then so now we get the sound we should be having. And I'll show you why this is important, and let's record a little bit. There we go. Now we can get these tracks a bit larger, there we go, like that. And then let's zoom in. And we'll start noticing something. Oh, let's actually clip there. Erase these and move these closer. There we go. So, what does out of phase mean? It means this. So, we can pick a line where our waveform, we can see it there. So these peaks are going up and these peaks are going down. So they're the opposite direction. And that's what it means when it's out of phase. And then it starts to happen that there's cancellation of sound, as we can hear. So now when we click this, flip the phase, we can hear the difference. And there we can see it happening in here, and we're getting more out of, you know, phase here, I think. So yeah, it's really important to, you know, keep an eye on that stuff. And it of course applies to other instruments and whatnot as well. That's what you need to do. The other thing I could do is I actually have this little cable. So this is for me to switch the polarity. So now if I take this microphone off, I'll just unplug that, and then I'll put the cable between the cable coming from the isolation box and my audio interface, and now I can actually take that off and now I can use that and leave it on. I'll have the phase like properly adjusted when the mics are set up like that. Of course, I could try also to do it without. Use the DAWs, the phase switch, or then I could try and adjust the microphone placement. Let's see what that did. Did that do anything? And there we go. Didn't work. So what do we want to do? Yeah, hit the phase switch or have the polarity inverse cable on there on the other mic. And that's how I deal with the phase, and that's how I mic up my speaker when I actually play my amp. And yeah, you can also I actually also have a old pillow in there to dampen the sound a little bit sometimes. And yeah, that's how it's set up. That's how to change your sound pretty easily. Just adjust the microphone placement, center it's brighter, further up to the edge of the cone it'll get, you know, let's say darker, and then you just adjust and see what sounds good for you. And if you use two mics, remember to check the phase. And hey, I've actually also, and I'm gonna put the link in the description, so I have made impulse response captures. I have a video about that, and you can do them in Studio One if you want, from your own cabinets or whatnot, and then use them with Amplitube or any other guitar plugin that lets you load your own impulse responses. And I have a pack of 5 from my Celestion Cream pack, and they're available free. And then I made a pack of I think 67 or something about that Cream pack, and you know, I just dumped it on Gumroad and on Buy Me a Coffee and everything. So if you want, you can check that up as well. But anyways, and I'll be making one impulse responses of this vintage Celestion speaker, manufactured, I think it was the year 69, 72. So it's a rarity. And when I get around to it, I'll be making some impulse responses of that one. It's made in England. Thames Surrey or something. But yeah, anyway, that's how you do that stuff, and I hope you found this helpful, and let me know in the comments if you have any more questions or some other topic you'd like me to tackle, and I'll see what I can do. But for now, have fun and bye bye.